So there's certain choices that I made as an early adult that were related to my past.
Yeah. Which ones?
Yeah. So, um,
Fulfill for you.
yeah, one of the big ones, the first big one was what kind of career did I want?
Hmm.
My dad was an engineer. My oldest brother, computer science. My middle brother is computer engineering.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this feeling that I was more interested in doing things that involve people and being of service. So I had this idea, but I had no career counseling. I had no one to talk to. I had no mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
I had no one who could show me the possibilities.
Give you a roadmap for something other than engineering.
Yeah,
Because it
or
sounds
like
like your brothers and your family, it was all, here's a roadmap to success through
that's right.
engineering.
That's right. Yeah, I had nothing where do this quiz to identify what your biggest values and skills are.
Well, I did that quiz when I was in high school, and it
Yeah?
said that I could be a flower decorator or go and work at the circus. So I don't know how much I.
No. Okay. Well, I didn't have not only I didn't have an effective support for figuring that stuff out.
What did that lead to? What was the impact of that?
So I went ahead and signed up for computer science at the college that I was living,
What college was that?
University of Southwest Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns,
Yeah.
USL,
Okay.
University of Slow Learners.
Was that a thing?
That was self mocking, yes. It was not a great college, although the computer science program was really good. I did computer science and I minored in psychology and English, and I graduated, and um, I was still feeling like I wanted to do something else. And I decided that maybe I'll maybe I'll be a lawyer and I'll
Mm.
go do some positive things with that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what that was, but like I knew I didn't want to do, shitty lawyer stuff, but I thought maybe there was a way to make a difference. And I actually took the test and got accepted to UT Law School, which was from out of state, was not easy to do.
Yeah.
Like I had the aptitude for it.
UT is a really good law school.
I had the aptitude for it. And then I talked with a couple of lawyers at the tennis place that I worked at, and they were both totally burned out on law, I think. And they told me, David, you and law school, you're going to just hate it. They were both just so like they painted the worst possible
They steered
picture.
you away from law.
They did. They did. So I wound up going ahead and taking a job with IBM here in Austin,
Doing engineering.
compute software. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I worked with a bunch of linguists, and we were like on the cutting edge of using computers to do spell check and grammar check.
Hmm.
That was kind of a cool job. But I was in the computer world. After 3 years of that, I decided, no, I need to go do something different. And so I went to pre med for a semester at UT, thinking maybe I'd be a doctor, and realized that my memory isn't that great. And for me to do this medical thing would require like lots and lots of time. Like it wouldn't be easy for me, right?
Yeah.
And then I shifted, okay, I'm gonna get a doctorate in psychology, and I'll either do research or I'll do counseling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I went down that path and I started a master's program at Southwest Texas. And then I met a woman, fast forward here, met a woman 10 years older than me, beautiful. She was like Wonder Woman. And I definitely had a wound around not feeling attractive to attractive women. Uh, and that was a real hook for me. She also had two young kids from a prior marriage, There were three and five. And as I got involved with her, it became apparent that I was really great with kids, really loved being that parent role.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman I was with she had some good qualities as a parent, but had not been raised with a lot of um, good role models.
Hmm.
And so I was clear that I was adding a lot to this situation, and I felt really valued. And what I want to name is, it was checking off boxes around me being a a real man. I was if I this role, I was now an adult male playing a father role and helping to support a family.
Mm-hmm.
I suddenly got transported into that, and it checked off all these boxes of parts of me that were never met, right? Like they were never like I never felt that validation before. And despite, in retrospect, seeing all kinds of red flags after the fact, I was in that and I could not see how this was not at all aligned with who other parts of me that wanted to bring my gifts to the world.
Wait, the father role wasn't in alignment with the other parts that wanted to bring gifts to the world? Is that what you're saying?
That I don't want to go too deep into this, just want to say, just in general, uh she and I, while we had a lot of chemistry, were not a very healthy partnership.
Mm,
Just that.
I see.
And then add to the fact that taking on all this responsibility was going to mean that I had to quit my path to a PhD.
I see.
And I had a master's, and I suddenly veered to, well, I was working on my master's. So what I veered toward is I'm going to get a master's and work in a school while I'm getting my master's because we needed money. So I'm going to work and then part time go to school.
Mm.
And then I'm going to get a master's in psychology, and hopefully maybe I'll be a counselor in the schools. So I adjusted my vision to fit in with the circumstances.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I worked as a teacher for 4.5 years and got my master's. And then because I was a white male and the school district was looking for other backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
the only job I was offered, even though I had a 4.0 and I was like a great, um, they needed more male counselors. The only jobs I was offered were like 30-minute drive out in the country and moving around schools during the day. Like not a very good. It's like the world was not embracing me in that space. And then I got a call from a friend to go back and get a job in the software industry.
You took it.
It was going to be like a 50% raise over my teacher salary. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Again, if a family, kids, boss, someone says, David, need you to do this, then there's a big part of me that's like, yes, sir, and I'll go do a fucking awesome job. And so I took that path, and it was like 25 years of software.
Yeah, I'm seeing over and over the the king out of balance.
The king not even in the room.
Yeah.
Well,
The folks at the tennis club you worked at steering you away from law school.
that's right. Not having the confidence to explore it fully myself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so much.
Over and over again, the
That's right.
family steering you away from getting that PhD, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, recurring patterns, right? And so yeah, and then golly, so much. So yeah, and I was so like the idea. So after 4 or 5 years, I knew this wasn't working. There were so many, like, we could not resolve big problems. We were not good partners around some important things. And I'm like, I started thinking about getting divorced. And and then my wife gets pregnant unexpectedly.
Mm.
And and we decided to keep him, and then I recommitted to the marriage. And it wasn't until 9 years later that we got divorced.
Mm.
But that whole period was like, I was serving different communities. I was, doing different things. Everything I did try to do in a good way. But there was almost none of it that was really coming from David's unique
Are
gifts.
you walking your path?
That's right. Yeah, it wasn't available to me. And so I was kind of in this, playing these roles really well. Um, yeah.
So it's important to you that folks find their gifts. This is all a
Yeah.
really good.
So I'm a perfect person to look at your childhood wounds and see that how critical it is to try to unwrap all that, to put sunshine on it when you're young,
Yeah.
before you make these big decisions. Really understand who you are and what it is that's going to bring the most satisfaction in your life, and from that place make decisions. And
The
so I'm a great mentor for that kind of thing.
there's some resonance here, David, in that I'm the show where I'm at in my life right now is walking away from software, which is something that I've done for 10 years in order to support my family and my kids, because it was something I felt like I needed to do.
Yes.
And I came to a place in my life where my daughters were having challenges. They weren't really connected to me. There wasn't a lot of intimacy, and they were, the message I was getting was that they wanted to be with their moms more, and not with me. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt like and this thing I did, software, was just to do the right thing, to have the high paying job, to have insurance, to have a family.
Yes.
And here it was not getting me anything that I really wanted.
Yeah.
And that's when I started looking at it saying, hey, what is my path? What do I want to do? What did I want to do when I was in middle school and in high school and in college even? And it's scary because I don't know. I don't have a roadmap right now to making this a career. So there's a lot of stepping off into the unknown and into uncertainty, trusting that if I show up in the world and contribute in this way without that monetary reward, the world will say, hey, we want more of that.
Yeah.
We see you, we accept you. Not only do we accept you, we want you to keep doing that.
Yeah.
And it's such a scary, vulnerable, it's frightening, because the shadows come up and they say, you're not worthy.
Yes.
You're ugly. You're stupid. You don't, no one's going to want to see more of you or hear more of you.
Yeah.
And Phil Fales is saying, well, yeah, that's what happens when you're on the fool's journey. That's what happens when you're finding your way. You
That's right.
stumble, you fall, you get up, you look certain ways that aren't refined, and you keep going.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
this message is really helpful for me to hear today, as I hear your message of going into software to support this family, and then coming to look back on a life where didn't have your king, didn't choose things that were in line. Your body was telling you, your mind was telling you
Yeah.
what you wanted and what you needed, and you had that cultural crud all over you.
Yep.
All over you.
Yep.
that didn't allow you to make the decisions that were in alignment with your intuition, your inner king, your inner guide.
Yes. Yeah, and one of the beautiful things about this men's work is it's not just the exception. Like what just happened here, I shared my story and it brings up all this resonance for you, right?
Right.
So when I'm in circles and men are doing their work and they're expressing some real challenge or some old wound or whatever it is, it's not the exception that I feel resonance. It's
Yeah.
almost the rule.
Yes. We're
It's
doing
it,
all of our works
it is
together.
rare that I don't find some peace that it's like, hell yeah, I get that. I've been there.
Yeah.
How can I help you? I'm here for you. I see you.
Yeah.
And you're doing that for me right now.
Right. Your work is my work.
That's right. And you're reflecting how my work is your work supports me in continuing to express and share and feel okay.
This is men's work.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to say it's, to me, it's human being work.
Human being work.
I strongly value that we're all more similar than we're different. And that's, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But thank you for that reflection.
Mm.
I hope that
Well,
we get to support each other more.
yeah.